Time for Media Watch. James Creedon joins us in the studio. Good to see you, James.
Good evening, Mark.
François Hollande, once upon a time, emphasised that his style was different to that of Nicolas Sarkozy. Question is, though, did he copy Sarkozy on a visit to a troubled suburb?
That's right. Now, this was yesterday following a shooting on Friday of two people, a fatal shooting, and which became big news, in particular on RTL Radio in France. They were talking about it all day. It was the top story. Now, what they're wondering here, you can see Sarkozy in 2005 speaking up to a woman on a balcony in a troubled suburb. Hollande doing something similar yesterday, responding to concerned residents about security in their neighbourhood. Now, a lot of people saying that the way that Hollande dealt with this security issue by responding to a neighbour who was shouting down from her balcony smacked of Sarkozy's communications style for a number of reasons, right? First of all, he arrived in the suburb just before the 8 p.m. news, so clearly there was a communications intention behind it. Also, was the Elysée kind of reacting to all of this the talk on, especially on RTL Radio? In other words, was policy following the media, or were they kind of chasing after the media? In any case, let's take a listen to the actual soundbite of Nicolas Sarkozy in 2005 and François Hollande yesterday.
Vous en avez assez, hein?
You're sick of this troublemaking scum, aren't you? We'll get rid of them.
They have a right to security. That's why I came, to bring it to them. Security, justice, success. Thank you.
Okay, first point then, Sarkozy in the famous racaille speech or
exactly.
scumbag
That's
speech.
it.
That was that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hollande not using the same kind of vocabulary.
You put your finger on it, Mark. That's exactly what they're saying in the media. If you
Often I do that.
Right, well, if you go to Le Lab, which is a website owned by Europe 1 Radio, they say, look, no, François Hollande did not do a Nicolas Sarkozy in Échirol. All you have to do is listen to what he said. Yes, in terms of the visuals, it's very similar. They're both responding to people shouting at them from a balcony. But Sarkozy said, oh, scumbags, and I'm going to wash them out with Karcher.
And Sarkozy at the time there was the interior minister too,
That's
wasn't
right.
Not the president. So
2005.
Another slight difference.
That's right. But if you go to Rue 89 and Daniel Schneiderman, who is a media analyst, he says that this was total continuity in terms of, what would you say, the political agenda following the media or responding to the media. The media made a big story out of this. Hollande goes there with the Elysée team just before the 8 p.m. news, speaking to this woman shouting from a balcony. So in the form, if not in the actual content of what he said, very, very similar.
I think Hollande adopted Sarkozy's dress sense, the dark suit, the dark tie, very sober, very businesslike.
That
kind
might
of
be
thing.
the protocol,
I
Mark.
think that's it as well. Who knows, eh? Who knows? Okay. Former Justice Minister Rachida Dati, one of the rising stars once upon a time of Sarkozy's administration, is in the news. This over the paternity of her 3-year-old child.
Right. Now, you would think, isn't this a private issue? Why is this getting
Especially
such...
in France.
That's right. Why is this getting such exposure? Well, the thing is, she has, in fact, sought legal action to get this hotel tycoon here pictured. His name is Dominique Dessaigne, to acknowledge the paternity of her daughter. Now, when the media found out about it, as you would imagine, of course, they would, AFP, she spoke to AFP and she said, not at all. I'm not seeking him to acknowledge the paternity of her 3-year-old at all. So a kind of weird paradox there. But what's perhaps more interesting or disturbing about this story is if you go to Morocco, right, there is a judge, quite a junior judge, it must be said, a prosecuting judge, similar to the system in France, who has lodged a petition to have her arrested if and when she comes to Morocco, because Rachida Dati is Moroccan French, because she had a child out of wedlock. So I think that's more interesting than the actual story itself.
Yeah, long live the Arab Spring, eh?
There you go, yeah.
Okay.
Slightly disturbing. Will we talk briefly about Dominique Strauss-Kahn, because this kind of links in, right? He was cleared of the rape charges in France. These are rape charges relating to an incident with an alleged prostitute. Well, she is a prostitute in a Washington hotel. Those charges have been dropped. Now, some people perhaps being a bit mean here and linking it to the Rachida Dati story, saying, phew, at least it wasn't me. This because she is now going after one other guy, right, over the paternity of her child. There was a lot of speculation 3 years ago over who the father of Rachida Dati's child was.
There were some wild allegations flying out at the time.
The Prime Minister of Spain had to deny that he was the father, actually, Jose Maria Aznar, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Okay, James.
All right.
Thank you very much
Thanks,
indeed.
Mark.
James Creedon with Media Watch, and thank you for watching. We will now take the shortest of breaks. We're back after that with news, with sport, and with culture. Watching live from Paris. Stay with us.